New Africa Broadcasting Network.
We have one of our guest speakers today, Mr. Berny Dohrmann. Mr. Berny Dohrmann is the founder and chairman of CEO Space Forbes, Inc. And he's #1 business conference in 2018, serving Nigerians over 30 years. But he's an investment banker, economist, who I hope you're going to help us get trillions of money for all of our work groups. Please help me welcome Mr. Dohrmann. Give him a resounding round of applause. Thank you, sir.
Well, first of all, thank you and Ken and the staff, because putting this on is historic. You know, this isn't just a conference. You're in a historic event. You're making history that people report news about. And I compliment the effort, the undying commitment that it takes to do it. I first touched the ground in Nigeria in 1955. Who was born then? I want to see who was born then. Who was alive then? So 90% of you weren't even alive when I started. I'm 45 years in Africa. When I had my investment companies, I did 50 million a month in wholesale diamonds across the continent, bringing money when gasoline was 25 cents a gallon. That was like a billion today. And that was just one. When I had my Smith Barney publicly traded investment banking company in the Twin Towers in San Francisco, we poured over 100 billion into Africa, and we have people on the ground right now in Nigeria with the cure for malaria, not the treatment, the cure, and it's proven and it's cheap. And Remy's brought it to the country. I want to compliment Remy, where the biggest killer in Africa is being resolved, and the medical teams should get with Remy on that. And we are going to talk just a few minutes about the bottom of the hourglass and the top. The bottom is so important because of this sentence economically. And Nigeria is the lighthouse. It is the hope and the promise of the African Union. It's its leader and its future and its example. And what has happened and the changes I've watched in this country with $1.2 billion in diaspora is just so amazing. I'll speak in London to thousands of entrepreneurs in a couple weeks. And I want all of you that are entrepreneurs to just grab to Ken and Amelia's really making a movement where we who love this dirt will put and commit and form committees and make movements that 15% of your lifetime, that's your wealth, will mentor, coach, and ramp up with wisdom, contacts, and part of your lifetime mentorship. It's more important than money. And 15% of your investments from what God's blessed you with in money, 15% of your investments, 15% of your lifetime. And if you can do more, so many here are, great. But if we can get this community mobilized to just that, it would take the burden from the government. And this is the sentence: no nation has sustainable economics except forged on policies that create rising, consistent internal consumption, not the export of oil. Rising internal consumption built on what? You, the entrepreneur class that's rapidly developing, that will support the sustainability and the genius and the talent of this great nation. Now, it needs money. And that's learning, that's forming rules. I'd like to meet before I leave with the head of the stock exchange or have Remy set up a meeting so that we can talk about how the entrepreneurs have the resource educational capital to be funded. And to learn about that work, we are the largest entrepreneur organization in the world. We were ranked #1 by Forbes magazine and by Inc. magazine again for the 5th year as the #1 entrepreneur accelerator developer for nations, let alone for you. We supply all of you, and you all can go here. Write this down so you can look it up later. CEO Space, Les Brown, video. And for the ladies, CEO Space, Lisa Nichols, video. How many know those two names in the room? Lisa Nichols or Les Brown. All right? Look at their videos on what we do to get you customers, capital, or both. So we are the #1 accelerator 5 years in a row because I resigned in 2013. So after 25 years running this in 140 countries, I got us to #5 on those lists. When I resigned and put all women in charge, because I stand for full partnership for women, my wife is the president, CEO. She got us #1. Her name is September. And September, all her life until she graduated from high school, was the only white girl on the bus. So we've stood in this movement for a long time, and I marched with Martin Luther King when I was 15, for those that are Americans. Now, the bottom of the hourglass is we will strengthen in your country and for your business. If you want to accelerate, see those films. And look, we have 5 meetings in Tampa. We have them at Innisbrook. I don't know if you realize that Innisbrook is 900 acres, 72 golf courses. It is one of the premier resorts on the planet, 7 theme pools. It has 5 tennis courts. It's owned by one of the wealthiest black Nigerian women in the world, and we chose the property to host our conventions for all the world to come to because it's built on the success of a Nigerian who gives back in this space like you can't believe. A black woman owns Innisbrook Resort. And the top of the hourglass, I speak to the Committee on Infrastructure. I speak to the Committee on City Planning. We just gave some incredible contacts to, and I said, we can't do city planning in Nigeria because we need the top of the hourglass. And I'm going to tell you a picture, and I'll close with it in your mind. Nigeria is the most exciting woman, 26 years old, gorgeous, strong, looks like she's a runway model, got her postgraduate 2 degrees, running into her future. She is tomorrow in Nigeria. And this woman, so strong, is burdened. She has a pole like she was in a field in Ife. And she has on one side the heavy bucket that she doesn't know how to carry even with her strength and education. For she carries the load of sovereign debt that the colonials have poured onto this country, and which the Asians are putting you in debt slavery again now. And you have to take the money, but you can't stand the debt load. And on the other side is her heart's desire, her wish that she could have the capital to do the infrastructure, to put in the highways, transportation, deep sea port city warehousing, and to put in the structure that will bring the hope and promise and potential. When the doctor said, Nigeria is here, this is its potential, but we're only here. We're there, and the potential's higher than the building's roof. We have everywhere to take her, but we have to get the resolution. If we could take the load of that debt off her shoulders, if we could take the new money that needs to come in and bring it in because there was a structure for it. I'm talking about $100 billion that can come in 24 months. I'm working to get the vice president and the president of this country to embrace a new financial instrument that will bring that money into Nigeria in 24 months. Create more jobs in 10 years than we'll create doing what we're doing, which is you're putting the puzzle pieces up on the board. And they're great puzzle pieces. All of them are priceless. But we don't need a smart city. We need a smart Nigeria. We need a master plan for Nigeria that's fully funded, that will bring the investment capital in. But it takes an investment banker economist. It takes someone that's been chairman of a firm like Smith Barney, that's publicly traded, operated all over the world, which I ran out of New York for 25 years. I know how to get the money to Nigeria, but I need the government's will to bring it in. And we're working on it, and Remy's helping us do that, and I'm so excited because we have a new, wonderful solution. So you put the puzzles, the beautiful pearls that you've brought to the nation in this conference already, which has humbled me to hear. And I see a lot of conferences. My last conference with Remy was with King Oni, when we were going to the White House with my dear friend President Obama, where King Oni was getting a lifetime award for the world to give Nigeria that prestige in front of the whole world stage. How many were there? Were some in that delegation? Remy, of course, was there with me. But you know, King Oni knows this financial plan and blesses it. But we've had a president who's been ill and out of the country, and we've been waiting to get the political will. How many times did we hear that? Because this money is the thread of all your pearls. It's the thread of all your pearls, because it gives us immediacy to our power, our transportation, our communication, and it creates high-paying jobs, ever-rising jobs that will give us a smartphone, and it'll change Nigeria. So the bottom of the hourglass is entrepreneurial knowledge, capital, resources. CEO Space will show you how to get that. It'll show you from Nigeria, in Nigeria, and we are hoping to put CEO Space on from the government in cities all over Nigeria to ramp up the entrepreneurial bottom of the hourglass. But the top is the national master plan for infrastructure and the smart nation that we can put together in 24 months with resources. And we have the partnership of World Bank and IMF behind this game plan. We have the brokers all over the world, the hedge funds, the private equity, the sovereign nation wealth funds, all united. It's taken me 7 years, and I'm going to bring it to Africa for Nigeria first. I promise you. I promise you. So I tell you, we will help this lady move her burden of those 2 pails. But she sees the gentleman who is that gorgeous, smart man we've had on stage here over and over, who's running toward her, carrying his wagon that is a golden wagon filled with diamonds and precious stones from Nigeria. For that is the hope and the promise of all the entrepreneurial invention, backbone, rising up, and in spite of all the challenges, everything in the way of her, the spirit of the Nigerian entrepreneur is reforming the continent, not just the nation. It's becoming the example. In your generation, you went by South Africa and became the #1 economy in the world. I mean, this is a change time in Nigeria. And so all that you see that's wrong with Nigeria, believe me, will be fixed by your education, your talent, your vision, what you're contributing here at this conference. The work you've spent so many years putting together is bearing fruit, huge fruit, because you can't see it, but eventually you have gained momentum. It's the most precious thing in the world. So I tell you, I stand before you, older now, having decades in your country, and I spend my life with the hope and the promise that I ask Spirit and say, please, use my precious circle around the world, my resource grids and my talent, so that I can, in my breath, my heartbeat, and what you have told me here has pierced my brain, gone through my double doors of my heart, and gone into the white illumination of my spirit and my soul with these words. And let me, Holy of all spirits, be of use in maximum way to the unborn generation of this nation. Let me do everything for that unborn several hundred million coming in 2050. And I look at you and I say to you all, I am so proud to watch you do that. Remember always, you are the hope and the promise. You are the lighthouse and the example for the future that's coming in for the unborn generation of Nigeria. God bless you all.